Even though her father is famous actor, comedian Jackie Gleason, our next guest faced many odd jobs, ups and downs, struggling for a career in show business, but it's all paid off. Now she's sitting pretty and anxiously awaiting to see if her show, The Mississippi, is picked up by CBS. Linda Miller. Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, and
you make it sound like I had such a long
so many years. But no, you did. They said you, what, at one time passed out free cigarettes on the corners of New York.
This is true, yeah. Well, I think every actor, you know, to keep it afloat. Someone in New York recently in an interview said, how did you choose this role? And I said, gee, I wish I could tell you that I chose it from 6 or 7. The fact is I was unemployed. I auditioned for it, they offered me the job, and I was, you know, thrilled to death. I'm an actress who's happy to be off the streets. A lot of my friends aren't working, and in this instance, it turns out to be a part that I love and a show that I love with people, as you know, who are really kind.
And Ralph Waite.
A sweetheart.
He's a wonderful guy.
He's a truly gentle, giving man. I mean, he's considerate. The crew loves him. He always, he'll stop in the middle of a rehearsal and say, well, are these guys warm enough? Shouldn't they have sweated? Because we work.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does. He really does. He takes people off the street, strangers, and gives them a cup of coffee. It's cold. We were in Mississippi in January and February, and it was freezing. And of course, we play the show as if it's no season.
And you're on a riverboat also, right?
Yes, we are.
Many parts of it, anyway.
Yeah, and the wind off the river is something else. And I must say, I'm the only woman on the show, which has great advantages. I'm very spoiled. I love the surrogate family of teamsters and prop men, and they all treat me like a child, and I enjoy that. But the other side of that is when you're filming on a riverboat and the wind is coming off the river and Ralph doesn't understand, what do you mean you need the hair, people? Your hair looks great. He thinks that women just get up in the morning and look terrific, and it doesn't happen to me that way.
It's all those years on Walton's Mountain in the mill, you know.
I guess. Well, this one needs a little more than that. You know, I need a little work.
Your role is of what?
I play Stella, who, it's funny, I'm not quite sure who she is because it's in development. Right, but she's a lady from a small southern town and married very early to a man apparently who drank and abused me, and in a fit one night, I guess I shot him. I wound up in jail, and Ben Walker, played by Ralph, defended me, and he got me out of prison. I now live on this riverboat with him, and he thinks I have what it takes to become a lawyer. We have a very close bond. I think he's probably one of the first men that treated her really special and like a lady, and everybody asks what's going on between these two, and we really don't know yet. I think it has to do with how the characters develop and what the audience wants.
You did 6 shows.
Yes, we did.
So that's they've been completed for quite a while then.
Yes, we were there January and February, so we're running now, and should hear soon, please God, that you know, we get an order for the fall. In which case we will we're done all on location, so we'll go back to the river.
So you'll go back out there.
Right.
Back in the fall.
Yeah.
So we won't be there for the nice hot summer.
Well, no, that's not true. I think we probably would start in July, but we'll go as far north as we can, like to Minneapolis, St. Paul. We don't have to stay in the state of Mississippi. It's about the Mississippi River.
Also, you can move it from location to location.
Right.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know.
We hope so.
Yeah. But no, the show is doing well, though.
Yes.
And you got a good time slot.
Terrific. It doesn't hurt to follow Dallas.
To follow, right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think we're a good show, and Ralph has a wonderful following. He's very, very much loved. And he's marvelous to watch with fans. He has an incredible patience. He always has time to stop and say something nice.
He's just a gentle kind of guy.
He is. God, it sounds sickening, and there really are times I want to wring his neck, but for the most part, we get along well.
You have done some pilots before this one.
I did a pilot with Charlie called Husbands and Wives, and it was written by Joan Rivers, and there are, if I remember, were 5 couples, 5 women, 5 men, all talking like Joan Rivers.
Oh.
So at the time I was living in the East, and I thought, terrific, I'll take the pilot, take the money and run. It will never be picked up because no one does Joan Rivers as well as Joan Rivers. So I did the pilot, and it was funny, and we all tried our best to sound like Joan Rivers, who, by the way, was always on the set and was a real Jewish mother, backstage gluing your nail, pinning your this, doing the hair. I mean, she was just darling. And the pilot went on, and nothing happened for almost a year. On the very last day of the option, I got a call from my agent, and he said, I have good news and bad news. And the good news, or the bad news, was the show was picked up, and I'd been replaced. And I've never figured out what was the good and what was the bad. I guess the good news was that I was replaced, because I guess at that time I was living in the East and wasn't prepared to make the commitment to move, I guess.
Can you do some Joan Rivers?
No, I mean, you know, I would say, I'm so naive. She's so adorable. And I'd say, she'd be backstage, as I said, gluing nails and painting, and I would say something so naive as, your nails are really lovely. Are they your own? She'd say, grow up, grow up. You know, I mean, just when you're around her, she is constantly, that's how she is. She's not unkind in any way. It's all done very lovingly, but there's not the Joan Rivers that you see on stage and somebody else backstage. She's got that vitality, and she was just super.
I remember I interviewed her one time about 6 years ago in Atlanta, and there were some guys in laying linoleum in the studio, and she just completely knocked them. I mean, she just came in and said some Joan Rivers stuff to her that I guess she uses in her act in Vegas, you know, and these guys are like looking, smoking their cigars, wondering, you know, what the heck is this lady all about?
She's dynamite. She's terrific at what she does, and she's wonderful to look at. I know she's always putting herself down, but I always think she looks terrific. Most women wait to see what she comes out in. I mean, she's dynamite.
Do people naturally assume that because your dad is Jackie Gleason that you, I know you said that a lot of people said, oh, it's so nice of you to decide to take this part, but is that generally the attitude people have? They figure your father's Jackie Gleason, so you can get anything you want?
Yes. And I'll tell you what, most people phrase it this way. It's exciting having him as a father, and it must be a great advantage. It's not exciting, because the public, in a sense, takes the person from you, in a way. Also, I come from a divorced home, so I didn't really live with my father. And no to all of the above. He didn't get me jobs. He didn't get me an agent. He didn't twist Ralph Waite's arm into giving me this job. However, he's very instrumental in my career, in that he gave me the vision that if you want it, it's there and you can go and get it. And that is no small gift to give. I mean, he was a kid from Brooklyn. No one had ever been in the business in his family. And he did pretty good. I mean,
he's amazing. As I told you during the break, I mean, he's my idol. You know, he's doing a lot of work now. Working
like crazy.
I mean, he just came from, it seemed like a couple of years of retirement to all of a sudden he's doing 3 pictures this year, 4 pictures.
He is a real trooper. I think one of the things that frightens me about doing a series is, can I go the distance? It's hard, and I look at my father, and he was on location in Baton Rouge for about 10 weeks. And I mean, when you're on location, it's a hotel room, and you get sick of the club steak and the mixed salad, and you've tried the shrimp. I mean, you're through with that after about 4 days. And it's tedious, and he's not a kid. And he's used to, you know, a good way of life.
Plus, he had some heart surgery a while ago.
That's right. That's right. But he is from the old school. I mean, he loves being an actor. He is there on time, does his homework, knows his words, no nonsense. And some of the people on our crew on the Mississippi had worked with my father, prop men. And I loved it. So they sort of treated me like their granddaughter because they'd worked with my father many, many years ago. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, we hope your show gets picked up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I do too.
Can you stay with us?
Sure. Oh.